Hello Aries, how are you? Welcome to your first reading for the month of April. Not date or time specific. I just like to let you know when the readings are being conducted and uploaded. I'm laughing because for the morning musing of the membership was very delayed due to a heavy rainstorm with the rain pelting against my window. Followed by, then I got the reading done, followed by YouTube just dropping the bottom out of my upload 95% of the way in, so sort of had to start from beginning, followed by a power outage that lasted several hours. And so now here I am, lights on, power on, and the long guys are now here because they got delayed due to the rain as well. So I get the feeling someone did not want me to do this reading today. That's what's coming through. So just take what speaks to you, leave the rest. I'm going to pull some cards just for you, Aries. Aries, Sun and Rising. Let's see what comes through. Wow. Aw. Oh, I love this one. You got card number 11. Okay, so a couple of things that's jump out. First, it says card 47. 7 and 4 is 11. Just keep that in mind. Physical touch. A tender touch can mean so much. So yeah, physical touch, and especially difficult if we are not in physical proximity to our divine counterparts. So pay attention to that energy. Pay attention to that energy. Focus on it, especially in your meditation, right? You can literally visualize it. And I think that's important. We have card 11, look to your inner strength. You are stronger than you realize, Aries. You're stronger than you realize. And our last card up, actions speak loudly. Express your love through action, which is the hallmark. It is the calling card of your sign is action, sometimes as if shot out of a cannon type of action. I shared earlier that I have my daughter and her father are both Aries. And I like to say that presented with a brick wall, given an option to go around it, to dig under it, to crawl over it, both of them will make a beeline head first. So, yes, impulse, action, you got it. But actions do speak louder than words, so show your love through your actions. I love that. So I'm going to change it up a little bit, Aries. Let's just focus on you for now. Whether you're here as the masculine or the feminine, doesn't matter. I'm reading for Aries, Sun, and Rising. If you're here as a cross watcher, that's fine. Sometimes messages come through that way. Remember, we do have 2 membership levels, and the link is below. There's an invitation for you there. If you just scroll down a little bit, you'll see a link where you can learn more about them. We are growing and would love to have you join us. All right, so here's how we're showing up in the reading. This is what's happening in this moment, Aries, that energy of sort of feeling out of touch, maybe ghosted, possibly devalued or feeling on some level forsaken, left out in the cold. Ooh, and the challenge is this feels like intentional on some level. The 5 of Swords. In the morning musing, it came through as more sabotage, self-sabotage. So that could be at play. But what we have here, Aries, are 2 5s. And the 5s are about change and instability and feeling out of sorts, out of your comfort zone. So let's look at, here's the 3rd 5. So this is what's kind of roaming around in your subconscious, the conflict, the chaos. What is maybe underlying feelings of a lack of unity, a lack of harmony, maybe an outside sources running interference in your connection, but we have 3 5s. These are highly destabilizing. They represent an energy of change. So I just want to say there's a lot of change here, and change can throw us off our game and have us sort of in free fall, if that sounds familiar. In the past, now we get to the 4s, some form of emotional detachment, possibly some energy of rejection. Wow. But this is where you are in terms of your best, the best outcome requires your strength, your fortitude, your ability to gather up your courage and your strength and have the confidence to know you can overcome all these challenges. So this is sort of the mindset, the above energy in the face of all this difficulty, and where you're headed. You're about to offload it. All of this energy is closing out. We did have the full moon in Libra, which involved a lot of healing due to the placement of Chiron next to the sun, or actually in the same point as the sun and Venus. So lots of love and healing was part of that lunation, and we still have some of that energy in the rollover until we get to the new moon. So we still have about 11 days, 12 days of that kind of offloading of negative energy, offloading of, like, letting all the wounds bubble up to the surface so we can finally offload them. So that's what's coming up in the future, at the end and completion of a stressful, burdensome, heavy cycle. And I see it all playing out right here. So let's take a look at, y'all know I futz around with the cards. It drives everybody crazy, but I know you love me. Okay. So 5 of Pentacles. Not feeling the love. Knight of Cups, not feeling the love. Trying to manifest it from the outside looking in, right? 3 of Wands is your ship's coming in. What would that be? This energy of love coming toward you, Aries. But at the moment, here's part of the issue is you're not knowing how to access it. The 5 of Pentacles, there the home fires are burning behind the beautiful warm stained glass of that church. And these 2 are really suffering through it. This is a struggle card. And this is also a card of feeling shunned. The actual energy around this card had to do with station in life, financial station in life. And therefore, people in a lower station of life would be outcast. They would find themselves literally on the streets begging. So that's the energy of the card. But if you think about it, the door to the church is around the corner. So on some level, if you're in a state here of lack consciousness or scarcity mindset, there isn't enough love for me to manifest. That's not true. It's there. It's ready for you. You just have to call it in. And that was the message this morning, right? Clear the resistance, clear the defensiveness, clear the rejection, call in the love. That's what I'm seeing here, calling in the love. But it's hard to do that when you have the 5 of Swords working against you. And that can be self-sabotage. You'll know it. You know, I mean, that's not an indictment. We all do it. We set ourselves up for failure sometimes or for disappointment. Usually because our expectations are unrealistic. Or the other person isn't aware of what our expectations are. And so we set the situation up that they can't help but let us down because they don't really know what we're expecting. Not in all cases, but that does happen. Five of Swords with the little message of love or apology. So that's part of the challenge, is that an apology is required for what was perceived here by you, Aries, as an unfair fight. Just was unfair. out of balance, unfair, left you feeling kind of stranded and alone. You're really trying to call in the love here, but it's hard to do unless and until you know how that other person feels, till they say the words. This is a message. And therefore, you're just in that energy of temperance. This card is about self-control and restraint. Remember when I was talking about my daughter and her father headed toward a brick wall? Yeah, this card says don't do that. Don't do that. Just pull back. Delay instant gratification here in the temperance card. Exercise that self-control with an inner knowledge that in time things will come into balance and flow. Sagittarian energy there. And yes, that will be the wish granted. So this little message of love or apology will be the wish granted. It will also bring healing. Very important with that star, the Aquarian energy of the star. All right, so I understand all this. Now about that Five of Wands. What's our conflict? All this lack of stability, all the change, all the shifts, all the struggle is breaking your heart. Underneath, that's the truth. Breaking your heart. Heart weary, heart heavy, heart broken, heart ache. And just ready to close out that cycle. Endings and new beginnings. Lessons learned, right? This is ruled by Saturn, the world Aquarius, and Saturn, the as above, so below. But it is also about lessons and completing cycles, which is what I see coming in the future. That's why you're being told to sort of hang on and keep hope and faith and trust alive that the universe has your back and will grant the wish of the message of love or apology coming in for all this destabilized energy. Four of Cups in the past. King of Swords. Yeah, I feel like this energy, whether it's you, Aries, it could be your divine counterpart. King of Swords is air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Doesn't have to be, but I mention that just so that you can contemplate your chart or that of your divine counterpart. But this is someone who's been cool and aloof and distant and not at all emotionally engaged. Not at all. In fact, intentionally, like I'm feeling talk to the hand, removed, remote, and creating a sense of distance on an emotional level. That can be you. It can be your divine counterpart. This is for the general collective. Yes. And I think what's coming out here is with regard to union, it's probably not happening, or at least it wasn't. And so a choice needed to be made. Yes, a choice needed to be made. The Two of Swords comes out underneath. As a way to say, but the clarity is within. It's not a decision that someone can make for you. It's what you need to do. You need to decide how you're going to play this. This is in the past. So now I see where you are right now. You're like, toughen it out. The Strength card, that beautiful Leo energy of the Strength card is an energy of overcoming obstacles, right? The Strength card overcomes any other card. Can overcome the devil. Strength card can overcome any other card. Remember that. So I'm feeling that because it's at your crown, it's at the head of the Celtic cross here. It's representing your intention, your motivation, your aspiration is to overcome it all. Yes, overcoming this painful, something ended here. I know it ended. It's not in the process. This has already all happened. Except for this part right here and maybe this part, waiting for that message of love or apology. But something kind of ended in a very painful way. For some of you, I'm not sure you saw it coming because I got 5, 5, and the 4 of Cups. In the past, it might have started with some emotional distance and then it just went kaput. Maybe complete ghosting. Could have been some feeling like you might have been set up for it. Wow. On some level, there is an inner knowing here. The High Priestess kind of knows, like like she knows. She doesn't need to talk about it. I can overcome this. I'll know. I am able to communicate with my higher self, to spirit, through spirit, about how strong I am. This is about separation. It's about no communication. But above everything else, it is about your intuition. Your inner strength comes from your inner knowing that you can overcome this. I love it. Pisces energy and that High Priestess. So going forward, Aries, we've got the 10 of Wands. I like that for you. 10 of Swords, 10 of Wands, closing out painful, stressful, burdensome cycles, right? An end to this destabilization, an end to the sense of abandonment, the sense of having been forsaken. When I say an end to it, I mean like in terms of you, Aries, resolving, closing that out and preparing to leave that behind, to offload. This is an offloading of negative karma. The negative karma involved some form of abandonment or rejection or interfering other parties or sabotage in an unfair fight. Do you see all the fives are here as representation of how this made you feel? And that's what's going to be offloaded. Because you're making it. You're making that happen. You have all the tools you need to manifest a different future that doesn't involve where you are right now. I love it. Yes, says Spirit. This is a yes from the universe, the Ace of Swords. It's like you're manifesting and it's going to just be like, boom, a flash of light, a bolt out of the blue of clarity. Oh, I get it. I'm in control. I can offload this. I don't have to stand for this. I don't have to stay in this energy. And there you go. So really interesting reading, Aries. And so I'm going to complete the rest of the Celtic Cross in the extended. The link is below. I will go through advice to you from your spiritual team. Any outside influences that are sort of beyond your control that you should know about, your hopes and or fears with regard to this connection or how it might continue to unfold, and then the outcome, what you can expect. I will also look at, we've got, where did I see it? We have Sagittarius, we have Aquarius, we have Gemini, Leo, and Pisces. We have 5 signs here. There's, Gemini a little bit in that Magician with some Virgo, but the ones I'm feeling the most, Sagittarius, Aquarius, Gemini, Pisces, and Leo. So I will pull some cards for you about those signs in the event that that is important to you. Got it? Links below. See you there in a second or in a future reading. Take care.